After 15 very long years, LEGO Indiana Jones is finally making a comeback with probably the biggest and best set ever being the Raiders of the Lost Ark Temple of the Golden Idol. The set has 1,545 pieces and will retail you for $150 in the United States. Hopefully in this review we can clear up if this price point is worth it or not. The box art looks really great with this Indiana Jones logo as well as the set with this very nice black background. Overall the set just looks amazing on here, and on top we have the Raiders of the Lost Ark logo as well as some of the minifigs and the size of some of the pieces included in the set. The back of the box shows another view of the set as well as the dimensions and just some of the other features included in the set. Overall, just an amazing looking box art. Got one of the coolest looking instruction manuals ever with this classic Raiders of the Lost Ark poster just right on the front of there. I mean, I've never really seen just like a poster on an instruction manual like this, and inside it does have a lot of information on the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. Also includes instructions on how to change the batteries out on the light brick, which is pretty cool, as well as a slip of paper basically talking about how LEGO is going to be switching to, paper packaging. Stickers and instruction manual were in like a paper slip, but that was the only paper I saw on the set, so I really hope that they start including more paper. The new Indiana Jones minifig looks absolutely spectacular with the golden idol piece, which is actually the same piece used in 2008. I love his leg printing and his chest printing, his satchel, his whip, and his face print, as well as this brand new hat hair combo piece. I mean, he's even got a second expression with his face just covered in spider webs. Overall, it's just a spectacular figure. You can see just how far LEGO's come in the past 15 years with Indiana Jones minifigs. This guy looks incredible. Indy's backstabbing assistant, Satipo, also looks great with this nice little torch piece, and I do really like the chest printing, although there's not really any leg printing, which is a little bit disappointing. I do really like his face print with this just sort of confused look, and he has an absolutely terrified look on his second expression, probably due to the fact that his back is covered in spiders, which is, right from the movie, and that's just a super cool detail to have on this minifig. Indy's rival, Belloc, is probably the most bare bones figure in the set, although I do like his pistol and some of his chest printing. Again, no leg printing, but I do like his face. He's also got a nice, explorer hat, but my favorite part about it is, how much sweat the LEGO actually included on his back. I mean, that's just sort of weird, but I mean, it's pretty cool. When Indy leaves the cave, he's greeted by an entire tribe of these Havitos warriors, and they include one in the set, which looks really cool. I love all the detailing on his chest and legs, and I like his crossbow. Got a pretty stern, mean facial expression, but his second facial expression is even harsher and meaner, and overall, it's just an incredible looking, warrior figure. And besides the fact that the warrior and Satipo have the exact same hairpiece, I overall think it's just a fantastic minifigure selection. All four of these figures are just really great. The highlight of the set for me has to be the Temple of the Golden Idol. It's just an incredible looking display piece with this nice black stand. Overall, it just looks really great. LEGO did take their shot at cracking the Temple of the Golden Idol 15 years ago, and while that set was pretty good, this definitely just blows it out of the water. I mean, you can see just how many details they've been able to pack in. It's just super detailed, and while it still does have a ton of incredible elaborate play features that we will get to in the review, I promise, it just still remains to look just like an incredible LEGO set. Like, this thing just looks fantastic on display. We'll start off with the small entrance of the temple, which is pretty, overgrown with a bunch of leaves and vines and stuff, which just does look really cool how, it's all overgrown and stuff. There's room to place the Havitas warrior and Belloc on the entrance of the cave, ready to, capture Indy when he runs out of there, and overall it's just a pretty cool looking entrance to the cave. The overgrown entrance does lead us to the first part of the cave, which honestly just looks absolutely fantastic. It's the first part that you build of the set, and just looks really great. You do have a spider on a spider web up top there, which is a cool little detail. There's also more spiders in the cave ground there, and I do really like the stalactites sort of sticking up out of the ground. Those look cool, and I especially love the skeleton sort of tucked away in the corner. That just looks absolutely amazing to me. Further back behind the skeleton, there are some spikes to probably stab somebody. It wouldn't be too fun, and this is a nice little trap there. As Indy escapes, he runs back through the temple and gets chased by a massive boulder, and that is recreated perfectly in LEGO form here. All you have to do is spin the crank, and it just rolls down this track. It's super smooth. 2008 one just had a massive ball on a track that you rolled down, and this just looks a lot smoother, and it's a little bit smaller, and it's really compact, but it works incredibly well. Just get that nice, slow, smooth motion of the ball rolling. It looks really great, and you can see from the back, it's just super complicated to build. Like, it's this arm that pushes the ball up and down this track. It's super complicated, but it works incredibly well. There is also a very slowly shutting door in the movie that Indy has to crawl past and barely makes it out, and that's also included in the set where you can slowly close this trap door and basically trap Indy. It does have a pretty big sticker on there, which I don't really mind too much because you don't really see it that much, and overall it is, a pretty smooth feature, and you can see in the back it's just this arm that pulls it up and down. Overall, I do like this feature. Again, I just love how overgrown this entire model is with, plants and leaves and stuff, and this leads us to the giant pit that Indy has to swing over, and probably the biggest problem with the set, which is actually the display plaque. This is really disappointing. Every single diorama set released before this has had a printed plaque, and every single diorama set release after this has had a printed text. tile plaque. So this is the only one to have a sticker. I really don't know why, it's stickered, and it doesn't bug me a ton, but when you look at all the other ones that are printed, it's disappointing. Again, I love the classic Raiders of the Lost Ark logo on here, and the tile plaque actually reads,
honey, there's nothing to fear here. That's what scares me.
Included is also a small tree branch for Indy to swing over the pit, and while this doesn't really work with his normal whip, it's obviously, too flexible. They actually included a stretched out version of Indy's whip, which is much more firm, and so you're actually able to swing Satipo or Indy over the pit, and it's just a really cool, clever little play feature, and I do like how they solved that problem with the flexibility of it. Of course, here's a back view of the swing in action. Overall, it's a pretty smooth function that I really do enjoy. I like the pattern they made with the teal and green triangles above this, and I don't really know what this is, but it's actually included in the movie, so it's very accurate. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of idol or something, but it's actually included in the movie, which is cool. That takes us to our third and final section, which is where the idol is, and it just looks so much like the actual scene. Like, if you look at that scene and then you look at this, they just did a great job capturing it. Now, in the movie, the idol is surrounded by a bunch of tiles where if you step on it, it shoots an arrow out of the statues, and while there aren't any shooting arrows, they were actually able to include the tiles that actually shoot arrows out, and that's cool. I think the statue is just, absolutely phenomenal here. They use a mixture of brick-built ones and actually stickers. I don't really mind the stickers here because they do actually have some Easter eggs to some pretty older LEGO themes, which is pretty neat to see. I think the piece they use for the idol just looks absolutely amazing, and it's on this little stand. Again, super accurate to the actual scene. Now, in the movie, Indy actually replaces the idol with a bag of sand in hopes that it doesn't trigger the traps, but instead it actually sinks down, and the entire temple starts to crumble apart, and they're actually able to include that here. By slowly twisting the crank to the right, a light brick actually turns on, and the bag slowly sinks into the ground, and while the light brick is not super noticeable, during the day, just adds a little bit of a glare to the idol. If you do this at night or in, a dim room, the light brick just really illuminates the spot very well and just looks incredible. But surprisingly, that's not all. Once the bag is actually in the ground, you can twist it a little bit more and the entire temple just starts to fall apart. And honestly, it's just incredible how this all works with one crank. So the crank lights up the spot, lets the idol sink down, and actually makes the entire temple crumble apart, all with one crank. It's just absolutely fantastic. Here's a back view of how it all works. It's just super complicated to put together. It does use some rubber bands and stuff to ensure that it all sort of snaps back into place. Very complicated and just works super smoothly. It's both just an incredible looking diorama set, but it also has forged incredibly complicated, amazing play features. It reminds me of the Aston Martin with all of the complicated play features while still looking amazing. Like, it looks incredible, but it has a ton of awesome features. At the end of the day, should you buy the LEGO Indiana Jones Temple of the Golden Idol, I would find it very hard not to say, heck yes, go for it. I mean, this set has just really impressed me, and the return of Indiana Jones has just been awesome for LEGO. This is definitely the best Indiana Jones set we've ever gotten. Sticker display pack is the only problem the set has. I really do wish those printed. Just about every LEGO set has to have some sort of tiny flaw that's wrong with it, and that's it for this one. I mean, it's just about perfect except for that. This set gets a 95 out of 100. It's so close to perfection. If you're at all a fan of Raiders of the Lost Ark, I would highly suggest picking this set up. I think $150 is an incredible price for it. It's basically sold out everywhere. It's very hard for me to get my hands on, so yeah, I would just highly recommend the set to anybody who even thinks about purchasing it. It's incredible. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Let me know your thoughts on this set in the comment section below. This is Seabird Productions. Sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with my latest content and just overall help support the channel, and I will see you guys later. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace.